That's all we asked for. Thank you.
Start together. No first turn crashes. Barcia's in third, but the two contenders are 1-2, and Tomac's already working on the inside line.
It's actually a good line for Eli. I know it's a little wet, but it's going to be interesting to see how he plays this. We know how important this moto is to both these guys for different reasons, but wow, this is what I asked for. 1 and 2 off the gate. Chase is up front. Let's see how Eli attacks him.
Well, we've talked about pressure a lot. You've mentioned, though, sometimes that moment as the gate drops and you get into racing, that goes away in a normal day. Is it a little bit more back to normal, or are they still thinking of feeling that pressure?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if you see some just odd mistakes from these guys in the beginning part of the race. One, is super hot. They threw a lot of water on the track, so the nerves are there. Don't kid yourself. These nerves, they're nervous, but I think for these guys, it's important just to stay focused and just be clean these first 2 laps.
Beta Motorcycles drone cam showing it to you. A little lead here for Sexton early on. Barcia, Craig, Grant Harlan. Good job borrowing Chris Kiefer, a test rider's bike, just to make it to the final round, starting in 5th, the privateer. Dungey, Bloss, Noren, Gray, and Plessinger round out the top 10, but all eyes are on this. Everyone got what they wanted. They got to the first turn clean, and it is 1-on-1.
Yeah, I expect to see Eli stay right there with Chase. Now, this little gap that he's got, it's just a roots thing. The track is wet. They threw some water down. So Eli, just like he pulled the tear off right there, doesn't want to get too close to Chase so he can't see what's coming in. So I expect to do this for a couple laps, and then Eli close in and the race will be on.
25 minutes and 2 laps today due to the heat instead of the normal 30, but no one has to work their way through the pack. They're right where they want to be early in this one.
Now, with these guys in here battling, they are conserving energy. You can tell the way Chase is riding. You know, the track is slippery. He's being very cautious because they know it's going to be a battle. The heat's going to turn up. So you can see these guys out here just being a little cautious, and I expect that heat to be turned up by Eli in a minute.
You see this closest title battles. That's not hype. That's a real number. It's the closest championship has ever been after 11 rounds of racing.
It's nice to be able to come in here. Normally we have to put some graphics in and be like, oh, this and that. No, it really is that close out here. These guys are really fighting for a title, and it is 1 point.
Yeah,
so.
We don't need to hype it today. This is just legitimate. Whoever wins this moto has a huge advantage going into Moto 2. The 1 point lead, though, for Tomac and the tiebreaker that he would have looms pretty large. If he wins this moto, then Sexton's going to need some help in Moto 2. So the pressure is on Sexton. He has no room for error against Tomac today. Tomac really just needs to match him for the day.
Yeah, I think so, but I also think Eli looks at this first moto is exactly how Chase does. Like, it is a must for me because I want to have that points gap, and I want to be able to have an option to do this. Otherwise, you go into second moto, and it's all bets, a first corner or whatever it is. So I think Chase looks like he's picking up the pace a little bit quicker right now than Eli, but it's still pretty early.
Sexton is getting away. Little over a second is the gap now. I'll give you the motorsport.com whole shot replay. Tomac had it. Sexton got it.
Yeah, well, Tomac got the jump, and like I said, either it'll mess him up with Ken being there or it'll focus and he'll get a jump, and he did. Just run a little bit wide, and I think if I'm Eli, I'd rather be in this spot right now and just watch and Chase. But yeah, Chase Sexton, these guys 1 and 2, just like the points off the gate, and the race is on, baby.
Yeah, I heard you talking on your Bubba's World podcast about you're almost starting to see strategy with these two in the races, which that's not normal in motocross.
No, it's not normal to have a championship that goes down to this deep, and each one of these guys are good in certain places, and they know the speed is pretty close. So it's so close for them that you have to start using that strategy. And I think what it's going to come down to is a mental battle today. So they already know they're that close. So strategy time.
2 seconds in the gap between Sexton and Tomac. A lot of buzz about Sexton's success on this track, especially with the 1-1 dominance the last time we were here, round 1 of the series. But Tomac has won here before, including late in last season. And he admitted that was his first motocross race of the Yamaha round 1 this year. And that is not the same rider we expect to see today.
Yeah, from Eli, normally you could be like, okay, is he pulling out his 2.2? But the way Eli's been looking the last weekend, and even today in practice, and just his swagger, I actually see what he's doing right here. He's almost letting Chase get out there, and I think he feels pretty confident that he'll be able to beast mode this thing back. And as you can see right now, he picks up the pace, he closes back in on Chase. So I don't think it's no worries. And if I'm Eli, I just made up almost 2 seconds right now, just in a couple corners. So he's in a good spot.
Just that right-left combo. corners were unbelievable from Tomac, and he's rolled right back to the rear fender. As you watch the Beta Motorcycles drone cam here, and it's right back where it was at the beginning of this race.
Now, Eli's in a good position, too, because he's seeing what Chase is doing. And Chase doesn't know if Eli's pushing all out. Eli does. And what Eli is doing also is saving a lot of energy. And he's looking at Chase making a little bit of mistakes here and there. So although Eli's dropping back, he's playing this game of saving energy. And I expect him to, once he tries to pass Chase, I think you're going to see beast mode in full effect this moto.
Yeah, we saw it last week. Sexton was able to catch Tomac and pass him. And then Tomac put in an unbelievable lap just before the 2 laps to go card came out and was able to repass Sexton for the lead. So they each have reason to think they can beat the other rider. That's what made this season so fun to watch. Almost nothing in it week in and week out. The speed differential between these two.
Now, I like what Eli's doing right now. He's hopping around, and we all know, if you paid attention to him, Eli does, when he's comfortable, you'll see him hopping around the racetrack. So it's a good sign for him, keeping his foot on in the pegs. And like I said, Chase doesn't know if he's pulling away, or Eli's struggling, or Eli's doing what he's doing right now. So he's in a great position.
Give a replay here in a box, so we'll watch this battle. Ryan Dungey's part of a big pileup off the start. Hard to tell everything that went down here.
Looks like he gets in there and he just stuffs the front end. I think he's next to Kristen Craig, and man, there goes my coffee. That's it.
Yeah, RD Coffee. Well, he's got an off season coming up. He could start brewing some more with his coffee company. Dungey is back up. He's in 21st place, though, as we focus back in. Sexton versus Tomac. And I got to use the cliche, this is the calm before the storm. You got to figure the battle's coming. Right now, Tomac's sitting back there waiting.
Yeah, Eli is pretty known to actually get in, and as the moto gets on, when he's on it, he gets stronger. So for him, he's saving a lot of energy around this racetrack. He's seeing what's going on with Chase, and he looks awfully comfortable to me right now. So like this line right here. Nice on the outside line. He's kind of doing what Jet was doing, or Joe was doing to Jet, revving it up, just letting him know. He knows he's not going to be able to pass him right here, but all this does is takes Chase off of what he's thinking about and starts thinking about Eli. It's perfect position.
It is. We're just 8 minutes into this moto, and we're ready for a duel. Tomac is behind Sexton. He's caught him. He's got a couple of lines figured out. Sexton able to pull back away through that exchange, and Tomac will go back to.
Again, Eli's sitting back watching Chase. Now, what I've noticed with Chase, he's kind of slamming into some of these corners, losing the rear end. It still looks a little bit tight, and I think that's a part of not knowing what's going on behind him and knowing is this what happened last weekend or I'm actually got this guy, but he's going to find out pretty quick.
Yep. Sexton responding to the challenge. Little bit larger gap here. Tomac going to try to pull it back as we go uphill.
Yeah, there's certain part of this track where Eli is going to drop back, like that section right there. There's no sense of closing up on the guy. You can't pass him. So when the track opens back up, that's when you see Eli is closing back up on him and starts revving that Yamaha up, let him know he's there.
But what kind of feeling does that give you if you're Tomac to know, like, I can give him 10 bike lengths here. I'll get them back.
Oh, man, it's the best feeling in the world because, like I said, you're watching this guy make mistakes, and you're also saving energy. And on a day like today, how hot it is, you wouldn't believe Tomac's riding 20% less than what Chase is doing right now, and it's partly they run the same lap times, but Eli knows mentally I'm not giving it all, and Chase doesn't know that, so Chase is trying to just think what Eli's doing, and I think that's why you see small mistakes. So Eli's in a perfect position.
100 degrees here. It's the pressure cooker in so many ways between Sexton and Tomac. We're only 10 minutes into this moto. Tomac does start to close back in.
Yeah, I actually like this outside line, and then he goes inside for me. So thanks, Eli. Yeah.
It's the corners after the finish that are coming up here where Eli is able to close right back down. Let's see how this exchange goes.
Now, what you see with Eli, he's sitting down like on some of these sections, and that's a veteran rider because, you know, he's going off of that, sitting down in certain parts, going off the face faster, but he's sitting down saving energy, and all that's a part of his plan. So I think he's, again, in a good spot. I like this outside line after this finish line, after the mechanics there, what he's doing, and Chase takes it right now too.
That's your battle for third with Barcia on the Troy Lee Designs Red Bull Gas to 51, and Craig on the Monster Yamaha Star Racing Machine. That's for third. The Benny Bloss running solid in fifth. 15 minutes and 2 laps to go in this moto. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance with a 15-minute call to Geico. Craig Almost got into it with Barcia there.
Yeah, you can tell Barcia's starting to labor back. Craig loves this track, so I think he'll probably try to get around Barcia, but he's going to have to funnel in back here. Craig just took a look back to see who's in second, but if I'm Craig, maybe I can try to square up and stay close to him and jump to the inside, but he messed that corner up.
Shout out to Benny Bloss on the BBMX KTM, running in 5th right now, and his teammate Freddie Noren right behind him. Marchbanks on the Muck-Off Club MX Yamaha is 7th. Anderson is 8th. Harlan still in the top 10, 9th. Roczen not a good start to this moto. He is 10th. Welton, Plessinger, Rodbell. So the rest of your field, Sexton either answering the challenge from Tomac. Maybe Tomac made a few mistakes. As we go back to this 3rd place battle, Craig has got the line here. Yeah. And it's got the spot. Yeah, he's up on the inside. You kind of saw that one coming. Christian had a little bit more speed through, and Christian's always been good in those rollers. So there you go. There's the pass. But yeah, Eli right now, again, that gap, it's starting to stretch out a little bit. So let's see what he does. I think if he closes it back up pretty quickly, it's going to tell us all that he's just waiting a little rope-a-dope Muhammad Ali style right here. Nice little hop out of that corner. They created a double jump on a straightaway to get to the bottom of that hill. Yeah, this is about as big as the gap has been in a few laps here. Over 2 seconds again now. Is Sexton truly getting away? Now, the one thing Eli has to be careful of is that although we've seen him close back in on Chase pretty quick, but Chase could recognize that, because knowing Chase, and I've had these conversations with him, Chase could slow down and have Eli thinking that this is all he got, and then he might sprint out, which he's doing right now, and it might put Eli like, oh, and all of a sudden he's got to step the pace up. So Eli just has to be careful on and not letting Chase get too comfortable, because it's a certain point where the guy up front, you're kind of hurting your own self now if you're Eli, and you let Chase starting to save the energy, and he don't want that. Jason Wygant, James Stewart giving to the call here. That's that strategy you're talking about, James, where you're saying on your podcast, it's not like one guy just knows he can just beat the guy by 30 seconds. It's not going to blow anybody's doors off. They've got to work it to make it happen. No, when I used to race Ricky in the days that he was close, especially in Supercross, there was never like an all-out speed. I always had to think on how to win. So it was always chess, not checkers around here. And I think he's doing the same thing. So I think Eli's smart enough to know that likelihood of him passing Chase and beating about 10 seconds, 15 seconds ain't going to happen. So why not surprise the kid and then show him and jump all over him? So, and I think that's what he's doing. But Chase has upped the pace, and let's see how Eli responds to this. Yep, a couple of mistakes from Sexton, but it has not slowed him down. He's actually pulled away a little bit here. And you see our graphic, Tomac, 3rd all-time in 450 motocross wins. He and Ryan Dungey are basically, you split the stats, 2nd best in this class ever, statistically. That is how much of a legend Eli Tomac is, and that is who Chase Sexton is trying to go through to win this title. It's a tall order, something very few have been able to do. Beat Eli Tomac straight up for this crown. He won it 2017, 18, 19. Yeah. Sexton in control at the moment. Well, Chase had a beautiful line in that roller section where he got on the opposite of those dips in there, and another energy saver. So he got on the opposite, and he actually pulled away quite a bit. But what I'm looking at Chase, if you notice, like he's making a lot of little like mistakes in there, like just a little bit like that. And that's Chase holding on tight. And it tells me that he's not completely comfortable, which he shouldn't be at this point. But Eli sees that, and every time you see Eli close, like you'll see Chase make a mistake. So it is interesting to watch that. Well, you revealed to us, you didn't tell us back, there's another one there. Sexton getting a little ragged here. Yeah, now if I'm Eli, it's time. It's because once you start seeing this guy doing this, he knows something's going on mentally. And if Eli, I expect him to close up on him and start to do it, because Chase is over jumping stuff. He's making a lot of mistakes, so you might be able to pressure him, but if not, I think it's the time to jump on him right now, because you let this part go, then he might recover, and then you have to battle the guy. And Tomac absolutely has closed it back down. We might have another battle on our hands. Eli got close. Sexton pulled back away. Now they're starting to come together here. And what is going to happen these next couple of corners? Tomac was very quick earlier. It's Jason Anderson. He is 7th right now, trying to move up on the Noren Bloss teammates, the BBMX KTMs. And back to the lead battle as well. Yeah, this is good. Now Chase, he's been in this position, all year racing Eli, and you could tell like he's a little off. He's a little tight right now. I think it's important for Eli, if Eli gets around him, he needs to pull away, because Chase is a great rider, and Chase, although like he might be frustrated,
he can recover. And with 10 minutes left in this race, Eli wouldn't want him to recover and stay up on him and then pass him back. So I think the critical point is right now. Let's see if Chase does that little opposite. No, he didn't get it that time.
10 minutes and 2 laps to go. Tomac still lurking. 1 second in it between the two title combatants. And now hitting lap traffic for the first time.
You got to remember how hot it is, too. So not only are these guys hot, you got to worry about the lappers being out there. And not like they're trying to get in the way, but, man, it's 400 degrees for them, too. So they might be lightheaded and here and there. So Chase, they got to be conscious of that. And it looks like Chase got around this lapper, did a good job. Let's see if Eli does the same thing, too.
Eli's right there. Anderson has moved to 7th around Banks. That's what you're watching in the Thor battle box. Bloss and Noren still putting in good runs in 5th and 6th. It is a 30-second lead. Oh,
there you go. There? Lapper fell right in front of Chase.
Boy.
Chase was lucky he wasn't that close where he got around it, but he fell right in front of him. So there you go. And he's got another group coming up soon.
Send it down to Jason Thomas.
Two things, guys. The pace that these two are turning in, they're going 5 to 6 seconds a lap faster than anybody else on the racetrack right now. And also, Tomac has been really transparent about the fact that he likes to sense when Sexton may be vulnerable. He watches him, looks for those mistakes like James was saying, and then puts in a splurge of energy. So watch for that beast mode lap like we saw at Ironman last week when he feels like Sexton is susceptible.
More lap traffic. Sexton able to get through it.
Yeah, I think the time of this race is going to be right now. If Eli sees that and he knows Chase is making some mistakes, and you got to get on it. This is all or nothing. I mean, I know there's 2 motos and Eli's got 1 point, but this is so big for him mentally, for Chase and Eli. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen within the next lap or so.
Anderson going after Noren right now on the top of your screen. That is for 6th, as Tomac has it at 1.3 seconds on Sexton. Oh, fantastic. It's what everybody wanted to see. They got off the line together. They've been this close the entire time. And we're wondering, as are they, does Tomac have more? Does Sexton have more? What are we going to see in the stretch?
Yeah, well, I think we're about to see some good racing. And you're right, Jason. Like, maybe this is Eli. And what happened with him last weekend, same thing. You got to start closing in on Chase. And we know these guys are so good. One mistake from Eli could give Chase a couple seconds, and that might be the moto. So it's important for Eli. If he can do it, he should do it here like pretty quick and not, risk it and wait for later in case he does make a mistake. Because I believe from watching him, Eli can go a little bit faster if he needed to. But if you give the guy a couple seconds and make a mistake, 4 or 5 minutes left, that might be the race.
Sexton starting to pull out a little bit here in the sections before that uphill. Pulling away just a bit. He's been quick through there throughout the moto. That's more traffic. As you said, James, this lap traffic with the heat, they're probably going to be even further off the pace than they usually are. The speed differential is going to be even bigger.
Yeah, and it's important to know, and Eli, these guys are athletes. So one of the things that they do when they're trained, we do these, they call them in intervals, right? And so you raise your heart rate up and you do this and you try to hold it as long as you can, and then you drop it down. You wait a minute, then you do it again. And what that's teaching the body is how to recover in these situations. So like I was saying with Chase, he's trained during the week to be able to recover doing this. So if Eli allows him to recover, then Chase is going to pick up the pace again.
Rider down.
See, there you go. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that. It's hot out here. I'm telling you, it's hot. These guys are going to be falling over, and Eli needs to take advantage of that. So
not able to, though, and this is the area of the track where Sexton has been very strong. But he's held up by a rider now.
There it is. Now, Eli, he knows that. So get up on him. Get up on him right here.
Brandon Ray got out of the way, and Eli did get to him. Forget what it says on screen. The last time we hit one of the transponder loops, it was 1.5 seconds, but I'm going to say it's about 3 bike lengths. It is on right now.
All right, here we go. It's going to be time. I think Eli has some good lines right here. Chase is caught up in the lappers, and whatever Eli, even if Chase gets caught behind him, Eli does too. Just stay up on Chase. Make sure Chase is the only rider that's in front of you, including the lappers.
So Sexton couldn't get away this time. He's got Tomac draped all over him. Lap riders in front of him. The pressure at an all-time high right now.
That was a good line by both those guys staying on the inside of that berm and to set him up better. So I still expect all those over revs. Eli hears that stuff. So if I'm him, it's time.
This is it. Does Tomac have a spot where he can make a move, show him a wheel. Blue flags flying everywhere. They're almost into the top 20 on lap traffic. And Tomac putting in charge through the rollers.
There we go.
He's been working this left side the entire moto.
He's
there. He takes the lead. Sexton comes back. Not enough. Eli Tomac's into the #1 spot.
All right, Eli, if this is it, you got to go now. Don't let him stay up in there. So Chase is definitely feeling it. I don't know if it's the or whatnots, but if he can pull away, yeah, he can get this thing, because Chase he's in a situation right now he don't want to be in it. Eli knows that. So I think you're going to see a hot lap right here.
Yeah, more ways than one. Can Tomac get away? Could it be the endurance? Could it be dealing with the heat that favors the #3, one of the strongest riders ever in this championship? Sexton has got to respond. If Tomac wins his first moto, he will only have to finish second in the second moto. Listen to the fans saluting the effort from the #3.
Now you got to expect Chase he's been here all year. They've been 1 and 2 half these motos on here, so I expect Chase to recover no matter what that is. It might be good, ugly, or bad. I don't think Chase is going to roll over on here. I think he's going to try what he can, and he might end up hitting the deck, but he ain't giving up on this. I guarantee you that.
Well, Sexton, it's all on the line right now. The 4-point gap that there would be at the end of this moto means he would need someone to finish between himself and Tomac in Moto 2. So he's got to mount a comeback. 3 minutes and 2 laps to go in Moto 1.
Now, all these laps these guys have done all this time, this next half a lap is so important to Eli, and the same thing for Chase. If Eli can get a gap, and Chase is doing a good job of staying there, he can break Chase. If Chase can stay there, then he knows that Eli sends a message to him, it ain't done, son. So,
oh, Tomac powering down on the monster Yamaha Star Racing machine, trying to get away. Now we're seeing him uncork it. Sexton is responding the same.
Yeah, Eli's been pretty quick in this part of the track. I wonder if Chase, if he can get that rhythm section and that roller stuff, I think that's going to allow him to close back up on Eli. So he's doing a good job of staying the best he can, because a half lap ago we saw Chase laboring pretty hard on there. But these guys, this is it right here. I'm so excited to see this. This is it.
Yeah, 2:29 was the last lap for Sexton compared to a 2:25 for Tomac, a 4-second differential. Much closer for Sexton this time.
Here he goes. Chase has this great line over here where he gets on the opposite side of these rollers. So if he can get this first part, and he does like a triple right here. There he goes. Now he gets on there, and he's on the inside opposite of those holes, and that allows him to close back in on Eli right here.
So what was the difference the previous time around? Did he not get that?
Yeah, well, you got to, for Chase, he's on that inside, so he's got to get that triple going into that. That's the biggest key, and if he doesn't, then he's in those holes. And so he closed up on him, but he made a mistake going up that hill, and got it. Eli pulled away a little bit.
Yep, and now Eli with a lap rider between himself and Sexton. Sexton's got to dig now in 100-degree temperatures. Can the youngster out of Illinois find a way to beat a living legend of the sport? He's got to do it straight up in this moto, straight up in the series. Everything to play for. The fans responding.
Yeah, now Chase is in Eli's situation. Now it's all or nothing. So I know they got another moto, but these guys are thinking about right now. So Chase is doing a good job at closing in on Eli. And again, if Chase gets up to him, then you might see a Lawrence and Shimoda situation. I guarantee you. And he's staying close to him right now. So it's important.
Yeah, he has definitely responded to that one bad lap. That allowed Tomac to get him. Sexton has been able to keep pace ever since. And you know that Tomac is dropping the hammer.
You want to know if these guys are racing? Look at the time up there. Look what third place is. Almost 50 seconds back, and it's been 24 minutes. That's what these guys are on right now.
Unbelievable. We might have a minute on the field by the time this moto is over. Yeah, Sexton, after the 2:29, just ran a 2:24. He found 5 seconds on that lap. But Tomac ran a 2:24 as well.
Hey, and trust me, people at home, these guys are so tired, and it is unbelievably hot here. So you got to give these boys credit out here to go up here and race this level. We're witnessing one of the special rides between both these kids. So no matter who wins, you got to take your hats off, because this is gnarly what they're doing.
Yes, Tomac, a 2-time Monster Energy Supercross champion, a 4-time champion in National Motocross this series here. But this is a situation we've never seen him in, having to win a final round, and he has responded to the pressure. Sexton has done the same, keeping him in sight, keeping the heat on.
Yep, Chase is doing everything he can, and he's coming up on a section where he's really good. And let's see if he can do it again, or Eli picks up. But Here he goes, and let's see if he gets that triple. There he goes. Now watch how much he closes up on him.
And that's an ace in the hole for Sexton. If he can get it down close, he'll have 2 more shots at it. So he'll be hitting the 2-lap card.
Yeah, and Chase is also saving a lot of energy by missing those holes, too. He's messing this section up, but if he's close to Eli, he will pass Eli in that section if he's close to him.
But I think he was better on those hills than he was the last couple laps. Eli's still squirting away just a bit. But Tomac, the lead is not as big as it was previously. Sexton's got another run in him.
Yeah, and you're giving him hope. And just like the 250 class, that 2-lap board, I don't care how hot they are, they're going to find the energy to get it done. So Eli, it's important to him to keep this gap. Like for him, he doesn't need to let Chase get any closer than what he is right now. Otherwise, he's going to let the shark hear Chase is coming.
And look at the mechanics right there, full focus. This is what you wanted to see. No excuses. It's all out for the win. It's a must for Sexton. Little mistake for Tomac out of that left-hander. Sexton's on the move. Oh, he hit that jump hard.
He's lightheaded. I mean, that's what it is. I expect the mechanics. I want to see a pit board fighting. Like, you got to give him credit. These riders are riding right now, and Chase made that mistake, and that's so much energy lost, that little over jump. But the kid ain't giving up. He's still right there with 2 laps left.
2 to go. 1.5 seconds to gap. Tomac and Sexton, it's winner take all. Oh, no. What has happened?
Oh, my gosh. Yep, that's what it is. I mean, they're on the level, and they're so hot. So that little bit of break right there, like he just makes a mistake on there. And being that it's hot on the championship, that could be it right there.
He couldn't get the drive out of that corner. I'm not sure if he stalled, made a mistake, or what it is. But you can see that Tomac has opened it up.
Wow, wow. Yeah, he just goes in that corner, and again, it's hot. Eli almost did it. If I'm Eli, just stay focused. He took a look back. He sees that gap. Now, if I'm Eli, expect to have a clean lap. That's all you got to do. If you can get this next half lap clean, then you go in the last lap, and it's yours, baby.
A lap and a half to go. Can Eli Tomac bring this ultra clutch moto win home? And they have opened up about a minute gap on the rest of the field. That's how strong they are.
Wow, man. Wow, this is a great race. It's still not over. It's still not over. Chase, this line is really good for him. See if he can close down, and you got to give the kid credit. He ain't giving up because he knows what this is. This might be the best run he's had through there, and watch he close back in.
It's closer than it was after the mistake. A little bit of lap traffic. Tomac clears it.
Come on, Mal. It's your brother. I'm just calling the sign. Get out the way, you know.
I thought that might be him. All right, he does the right thing. He lets them by. That is 15th place that they have lapped down to the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, everybody's getting out of the way on this one. These guys are a minute ahead. Let me repeat that. These guys are a minute ahead right now.
Unbelievable. Well, in this heat, you know everybody else is going to be laboring. Just the dig to try to win this title has pushed them today through that. Seen some signs of fatigue on both, some mistakes due to the pressure, but they've still put a masterful performance, both of them, in a one-on-one duel.
Yeah, now it's important for Eli not to let Chase close up again, because we just saw Chase was almost 3 to 4 seconds back, and he's closing back in there. So sometimes if you're Eli and you're in this situation, you know that gap, which you look back and he saw it, he might think this thing is over, and Chase might come, and it's hard for Eli to pick the pace up. They're both exhausted. They're both exhausted. They're sitting down, going off the faces of jump, but man, they ain't giving up.
White flag is out. Eli Tomac leads. 1 lap to go, a critical juncture. If Tomac wins this moto, he only needs to finish second in the second moto to win the title. So Sexton, who got the jump right this time, that's where he bobbled the previous lap, is on the go.
Yeah, Chase actually is looking pretty good, and I can tell you he's exhausted, lightheaded, and he doesn't care, and he's giving Eli. So this race still ain't over. What a great line through Chase. You can tell he's giving everything he's got right now. So
more lap traffic. They've got to get around. I believe that's Welton right there. Sexton goes right by, as does Tomac. He's got him in sight.
He messed that corner up a little bit, but Dino gets out of the way. He's still right here, and he's coming up on the quickest part of the thing. So
we might be lapping into the top 10 before it's over. That was 14th place. Dean Wilson, they just got by.
Chase made another little mistake on there. It takes so much energy off, and
he's digging deep.
He's still right here, though. It's not over. Eli's still right there. So Chase can get this next section clean and close up on him, then he has a shot.
He's got to get the triple. Here we go.
He's got to get this.
Double,
there
triple, beautiful.
Eli looked like he got through there pretty good, but Chase, it's not over.
These hills, these ups and downs, Tomac's been a little bit better through there. Let's see if Sexton can stay clean, try to close it down.
Well, you got to give Chase credit, though. He's recovering, and for the next moto, it's important, but I'm him. I'm racing to the end. It's still not over.
Eli Tomac showing the fitness and strength that has made him a 3-time 450 national champ. He sat on his wheel. He saw the opening. He went for it. Now a few corners away from, honestly, what is probably the most critical moto win of his already legendary career.
Yep. Now these last half lap, some of these corners, this has been the best Chase has looked all day long on there. So you got to give him credit. And I think that's a lot of, he's in second. He knows how important this thing in there. And look, the kid's going for it.
He is. He's closing it down.
Yeah.
Down to a few bike lengths. A little mistake from Tomac. The infield section, about 4 turns in it.
Yeah, if he can get through this next section right here, then that's it.
Sexton continues to close. Here it is, the final stretch. Tomac doubles, he triples, checkered flag. Eli Tomac takes the first moto.
Wow, what a race. Great job, both these guys. You cannot be any more happy. We got to give both these guys.
When we all give the power, we all give the best. Every